I want to share about 7 of my favourite marketing books and explain why I think you have to read them. These are essential reading if you run a business or intend to run any kind of business. So the first one is Ogilvy on advertising. You're going to see this pretty much near the top of every list out there, and for good reason. Ogilvy is one of the most influential marketers in history, and this book is worth the price tag just for the swipe files. So he's got examples in here of the best performing adverts in history. Most of them were done by himself and his team, and you're going to see some very famous adverts in this book. And what he does is he shows you examples of what works and then explains why it works, so you can take some of that lesson and apply it in your own advertising and your marketing material. So that's Ogilvy on advertising, one of the best books on marketing and advertising. Next up is another pretty big book. It's called Words That Sell. And what this does, think of it like a dictionary of persuasive words. So it's going to break things down for you into categories. So let's say we want to look at this. So make money making. So it's going to give you a whole heap of words and phrases to use instead of saying make money. So things like build your nest egg, double your earnings, cash in on, profit from, and then it's going to go down into other different types of check this out. So moment of decision. So that's when you're asking someone to decide to purchase your product. So make this the turning point of your life. Put our ideas to work. It's up to you. So these are words and phrases that are proven to increase your conversions. So Words That Sell. There's also a second volume as well, which I've got, but I don't think I need to include it in this list because we've got the first one there. Then the third book on my list of must-read marketing books is Think Two Products Ahead by my good friend Ben Mack. And this was a turning point in my digital marketing career. Now, full disclaimer, Ben sent me a review copy of this when it came out. I think it was 2005, maybe 2006. I should actually probably double check that, but it was quite a long time ago now. And when I read it, it was a bit of a turning point in my career because it changed the way I saw product marketing. So and it changed the way that I created products as well, because up until that point it was all about the one product. When I read Ben's book, I started to think in terms of like a product line, an interlinking product line. So I started to break down like the customer journey and develop products around that journey. So in one product, I started pre-selling the next product. And then of course, because you create that need, when it comes to sell the next product, you have a ready-made audience who want to buy it. And that is all because of Think Two Products Ahead by Ben Mack. Absolutely amazing book. And he is a mate of mine, but that's not why I'm including it. I'm including it because it genuinely changed the way that I think about product creation. Next one on my list is Guerrilla Marketing by J. Conrad Livingston. And this copy was given to me by my father. He read this book many years ago and he said, you have to read this. Handed it to me, sat on my bookshelf for a while, then one day I picked it up and oh boy, this is what switched me onto NLP. So in here we have, it breaks down NLP into such an easy to understand method or practice. So what he has done is he's taken things like, I think he may have even taken like the Milton model of hypnosis and broke it down into an easy to understand format. And he actually gives you in this book, like, check that out. So it says new weapons for your arsenal, and it just gives you a list of things that you need to focus on, no matter what type of business you're on. So even if it's a digital business, physical business, doesn't matter. This book, Digital Marketing Revolution, is going to benefit you. I recommend you check that out. Next up is Start With Why. Now, this is by Simon Sinek, and you might have already seen a very famous TED Talk that he did. So, as the name says, it's all about why. Start with why. So, most businesses will talk about the what they're doing, how they're doing it, but not why they're doing it. And I think the best example he gave of that is Apple in Think Differently. Think different. So that's their why. So what you need to do is figure out what your why is. The why for me was the Profit Copilot business. That initially was set up, first of all, to experiment with things, but also for Logan, for my kid. So he has a wealth of information should he ever decide to start his business. So that was my why. It was for my kid. So this book, Start With Why, by Simon Sinek, is going to help you to uncover your why. And then when you uncover that, you'll be able to communicate that through your marketing material. Next up is Influence by Robert Cialdini. This book absolutely changed the way we market. Pretty much everything. So it's based around 6 or 7 really key trigger points. So one of the biggest lessons from this book is if you want someone to do something for you, if you want to influence someone, give them a reason. So the best way of giving them a reason is to use the word because. That's one of the most powerful lessons from this book. And another lesson is scarcity. So I think scarcity is in this book. Yeah, there it is. Scarcity. So when things become scarce, they become more valuable. So if you limit the availability of your products or your service, then people want it more. It creates this desire for it. So that's Influence. There's 6 or 7 or 8 maybe, kind of like shortcuts to persuasion and influence, and they're all scientifically backed. It's got notes in there, references, so you can follow up on any of the claims made in here, and it gives you examples. It's all scientifically proven ways to influence and persuade people. So the next book I've got for you is called Breakthrough Advertising by Eugene Schwartz. Now this came out, I think it was 1966, but don't let that fool you, because the funnel structure that we all use on the internet started here. That's why we use funnels. It's because of this book. So what Eugene Schwartz discovered was there's 5 levels of market sophistication. So for example, not going to go through them all because I've got other videos and tutorials that show you how to build and market to funnels and each segment of that funnel. So for example, the very first segment of a market is going to be the widest, and then from there on it's going to get reduced and reduced and reduced until, and that's why we have the funnel structure. So the top layer is like the widest. So if you think about content marketing, how it can fit together in a funnel, then like a blog post or a video that is free, that's going to reach the widest segment of your market. And then the lead magnet, the lead gen stuff, that's going to be a smaller segment. Then the number of customers is going to be smaller still. number of repeat buyers, smaller still, and a number of people who absolutely go out and almost do marketing for you is going to be smaller still. So I think if you're going to buy one book on this list, it's either going to be this one or this one. So breakthrough advertising or influence. Get both if you can. Now this one has got a high price tag. I think it costs around 150 bucks maybe. I can't remember exactly how much I paid for it. And it's widely said in the copywriting community, if your copywriter doesn't have a copy of this and read it and understand it, because some of the words and the way it's written, it requires a couple of reads, to be honest. But it's widely said, if they don't have a copy of this book, they don't really understand marketing. Now, I don't know how true that is, to be honest. I think other books have taken elements of this and updated it, modernized it, and what have you. So I still think you can get the same contents and same information from other books that came later. But what I'd really like to do for you, if you're up for it, if you want me to, is actually go through some of the elements of this book. So for example, if we check this out, there's a whole heap of headlines that you can swipe. So it talks about writing absolute killer headlines. It gives you a structure to follow. It tells you why using them is a good idea. It actually gives you 38 ways to strengthen your headline, it says. So that's breakthrough advertising. If you want me to go into more detail on any of these books, let me know in the comments. I mean, I can go through the 7 triggers in this if you want, or we can delve deeper into start with why. Anyway, entirely up to you. Just let me know in the comments, and if you found this useful, give it a thumbs up below. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down, and if you want more videos like this, then subscribe to the channel and you will get a frequent amount of videos from me. Okay, take care.